Here is part of 100 square. Write in the missing numbers. So we have 75, something, 95, and then we have these numbers across 94, 95, 96, 97. So when we're going across, we can see that we're adding one more each time. But when we're going vertically, it can't be a difference of 1 because we have 75 and then 95, so it must be a difference of 10. Our number must be 85. But now we need to find this box here. Now the best way to do that is to think what number is going to be above 75. Well, we have 95, 85, 75, so above that we'll have 65. And then remember, when we go to the right, we add 1, so this missing box here must be 66. The numbers in the two triangles add up to the number in the square. So they've given us an example here. We have 10, 15, and then in the square we have 25, because 10 plus 15 is 25. But now, using the same rule, write in the missing numbers. So we have 25 and something, and then in the square we have 120. Now if you're not sure what to do here, what you can do is look back to the example. So imagine this triangle here was missing. How would we be able to find it? We'd have 10 plus something is 25, and we'd be able to work out this missing triangle by working out 25 minus 10 to make 15. So we need to work out 120 minus 25. What we really have here is a missing number addition, so we use subtraction to find our missing number. We can work this out using column method, and that gives us 95 as our missing number. So now we have 55, 75, and this time it's the square that's missing. Well, if we look back to our rule, the numbers in the two triangles add up to the number in the square. So to get our square, we need to add what's in the two triangles. And we can see from the example, we have 25 in the square because 10 plus 15 is 25. So we can add using column addition, and that gives us 130 as our missing number. Look at this shape. Draw a cross in the corner with the smallest angle. So with this shape, the smallest angle is this angle here. So we need to draw a cross in this corner. All of our other corners are larger. And we can see that this is the only acute angle, the only corner that's an acute angle. Remember, an acute angle is less than 90 degrees, so less than the corner of a piece of paper or the corner of your screen. All of our other angles are either obtuse angles, so larger angles like this one here, or this one here, or right angles like this one here. Look at the table. The potato is how much heavier than the carrot? So here, the question is asking us to compare two things. And when a question asks us to compare two things, so to find how much more or how many more, we need to find the difference, so we need to subtract. From the table, we can see that the potato is 250 grams and the carrot is 90 grams. So to find the difference between those numbers, we need to subtract. We can do that using column subtraction, and we get 160, because the potato is 160 grams more than the carrot. Now, together, the apple and banana weigh how much? So here we need to put two things together. We know that the mass of the apple is 150 grams, the mass of the banana is 210, so if we want to know what they weigh all together, we need to add. We can do that using column addition, or you might be able to do this question mentally, but we get an answer 360 grams, because 150 and 210 together make 360. Molly drew a number line to find the answer to 43 plus 32. What number is hidden under the card? Well, we can see from this number line that Molly has started from 43, and then to add 32, she's decided to add 30 and then add 2. Now 43 plus 30 is 73. That's because we start with 4 tens, and if we're adding 30, we need to add 3 tens. So that gives us 7 tens altogether, because 4 plus 3 is 7, and then because we're not adding any ones, the ones digit stays the same. So under the card, our missing number is 73. Here is a square. What fraction of the square is shaded? Well, remember, when we're finding fractions, the numerator, or the top part, tells us how many parts we have, and the denominator tells us how many parts there are altogether. So how many parts do we have? We have 2 parts that are shaded, or 2 pieces shaded, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces altogether. So the numerator is 2 and the denominator is 8. So 2/8 of the square is shaded. Now we could simplify that to 1/4, or we could just leave our answer as 2/8. This graph shows the distance some children walk to school. Who walks between 300 and 400 metres to school? So, because we want to find a value between 2 values, that means we want to know who walks in the middle of 300 and 400 metres. So because we have the number of metres over here, what we can do is draw a line across from 300, then a line across from 400, and see who's between those lines, who's in the middle. We can see that it's this bar here, and if we move down, we can see that that's Kylie. So Kylie walks between 300 and 400 metres to school. You might also spot that because it's right in the middle of 300 and 400, she must walk 350 metres. Now the answer isn't Emma, because although Emma walks 300, we want to know who walks between 300 and 400. So we can't write Emma as our answer because she walks 300, and it has to be, if it's between, more than 300 but less than 400. Write in the missing numbers in this multiplication grid. So we can see how multiplication grids work, because we have the number 20, and to the left we have 4, and above we have 5, and 4 times 5 is 20. So if we want to find this box here, we have 36 below it. So 4 times whatever this number is equals 36. So really, we have a missing number multiplication. 4 times what is 36? Well, 36 divided by 4 is 9, so our missing number is 9. And here we have 32, so 4 times something is 32. Well, 32 divided by 4 is 8, and that means that 4 times 8 is 32. Now let's find this box here. We have something times 5 is 35. 35 divided by 5 is 7, so that's our missing number. And here, something times 5 is 30. Well, 30 divided by 5 is 6, so 6 times 5 is 30. And what we should do when we filled out the multiplication grid is check that it works with other values. So let's look at 63. We have 7 to the left and 9 above, And that makes sense because we know that 7 times 9 is 63. Or if we take this number here, we have 48, and to the left we have 6, above we have 8, and that makes sense because 6 times 8 is 48. Now we need to write in the missing digits. So we can see that we've got a missing digit addition that makes 100. If we look first at our ones digits, because remember when we add, we can add our ones digits first. We have 4 ones, and then we don't know how many ones have been added, but we have 0 ones in our answer. So here, we haven't added to 4 to make 0, we must have added to make 10. And 4 plus 6 is 10, so this missing digit here must be a 6. Now we have something, and 4 as our ones digit plus 56 equals 100. So here, now that we know one of our missing numbers, we could just read the question backwards and work out 100 minus 56. Or we can spot that when we're making a number bond to 100, our ones digits have to add up to 10, but our tens digits have to add up to 9. And 4 plus 5 is 9, so 4 is our missing tens digit. Now what we can do is write the question out as a column addition to check that it works, to check that 44 plus 56 is 100. 6 plus 4 is 10, so that's 1, 0, and 1 plus 5 plus 4 is 10, so we can see that it makes 100. And we can also see why the ones digits have to add up to 10, because that way we get a 0 as the ones digit of our answer. But our tens digits only have to add up to 9, because we can make an extra 10 by adding our ones. Write the missing numbers in the sequence. So when we get number sequences, what we should do is look for 2 numbers that are next to each other, because that way we can work out the rule for the sequence. So we have 24 and then 32 in our sequence. How many more than 24 is 32? Well, 24 plus 8 is 32. You could work that out by counting on, or by spotting that we can add 6 to get to 30, then add another 2. We also have 2 other numbers in our sequence. We have 48 and 56, and 48 plus 8 is 56. If we count on 8 from 48, we'll get to 56. So that means with each step in our sequence, we need to add 8. So to work out this box here, we need to work out 32 plus 8. That's 40 because 2 and 8 make a number bond to 10. And for this box here, we need to work out 56 plus 8. Now this can be a little bit tricky, but from 56, if we add 4, that takes us to 60 because 6 and 4 make a number bond to 10. And then, because we've added 4, but we want to add 8 altogether, we need to add another 4, because 4 plus 4 is 8. So if we're on 60 and we add 4, we get to 64. So that's our missing number. And for this box here, we have something plus 8 equals 24. So we have a missing number addition. And whenever we have a missing number addition, we need to subtract to find our missing number. So we need to work out 24 minus 8. If we can't do that all in one go, what we can do is subtract 4, so subtract the ones from the number, so 24 minus 4 is 20, and then because we want to subtract 8 altogether, we need to subtract another 4, and 20 minus 4 is 16, so that's our missing number.